Social and political commentary from a Christian male perspective.
Thank y'all so much for checking out what Chris is doing. I wanted, Chris knows I've been kind of sort of addicted to these body cam videos. And so how many times a week do I call you about something?
Sort of.
Oh, come on, Chris. Don't dog me out.
At least twice, but probably sending me stuff at least 4 times a week. I think
absolutely. Because some things just don't make sense. There's a lot of things that happen out there in these body cam videos. You're like, well, why did the police not do this? Or why do they do this? And so I call Chris or shoot him a text message like, why do they do this? So today I said, man, if you could come on today, I would love to show you this video and just get your feedback, because you are an officer. You've probably been in a situation that was chaotic like this. And I would love to know a little bit more about what's the thought process of an officer in this type of situation. So they'll explain it as well, but it's South Georgia, in Savannah, Georgia. It's an apartment complex, and it looks like 20 or so kids, high school age kids, are fighting and brawling.
So even before we get into the content,
okay,
I won't
go
actually
ahead.
even like, so before you even get to a call, you have all that coming out, right?
For sure.
It's at an apartment complex, so you can, so you kind of know once you go to an area, okay, we've had problems here, right? It's always that one house or that one apartment complex where you're like, all right, 3 more people need to start coming this way. 20 people, 20 juveniles, they're brawling, they're fighting. So I always tell, like, I have ride-alongs or people that, you know, I talk to, I'm like, you're already painting a picture of your mind while you're going. And
for sure.
You want to imagine the worst thing rather than, oh man, it's going to be nothing. And so you don't want to get out the car like, hey guys, what's happening? Like, you got to get out of the car like,
you can come out hot.
Head
right.
on swivel, like that information alone. So yeah.
Yeah, this one is going to be a head on a swivel for sure. So, ladies and gentlemen, me and Chris are going to do a live reaction to this. If I do this correctly, we're going to do a live reaction to this body cam footage. And there's a lot of elements. So feel free, Chris, to just tell me when to stop or and such like that. And feel free, if you have a question in the chat, just put question in front of it. Or if you're inclined, just put those three hearts in front of it, and Chris and I will stop accordingly. So here we go, Chris. One in the chat when you can hear.
Where do you live at? Where do you live? What building?
I'm not in the, come on now.
No. What building do you live in?
Officers respond to a call of a fight between about 20 teens. Some of these teens are known to have an extensive criminal history.
So I'm gonna tell you.
This ain't I'm gonna tell you. You're gonna get
Come on, what you doing that for?
Well, because it's called loitering and prowling, and you're obstructing.
Come on now, what you doing that for? I just came in my area.
Okay, so before this guy right here runs in, Chris, what'd you think about them asking the kid, where's he from, the first cat, and him not actually giving a good answer?
Yeah, because he's intentionally not telling them where he stays. And the voiceover came on, it kind of insinuated that they had prior history with some of these kids. And so, you come in there for a fight. If you know this guy has always been violent, more than likely he was involved in this incident. And so he's not really wanting to tell them much. Okay, so right now it seems like they're detaining him until they, they're investigating, something that's happened. And so, hey, you can detain someone based on, reasonable suspicion that a crime has happened, is happening, or will occur. And so he's not really trying to be cooperative, right? And we saw kind of right away, they handcuff him. And you see a multiple subjects.
It's
I'm telling you right now, taser is out. Right? He run up on me. Taser is out. And he keep running, he is getting tased.
Wow. All right. So let me, and also and I also want to encourage you all, pay attention to the genders that are involved in this. Pay attention to the genders. Like, where are the men? Where are the women? And of course, children. But like, just just take note of it. Because at the end, it'll become strikingly clear. It really dovetails in what we've been talking about already. So let's go.
Doing that for?
Well, because it's called loitering and prowling, and you're obstructing.
Come on now, what you doing that for? I just came in my area.
All right, look at this guy right here.
Yeah, he's the knucklehead of the lead knucklehead.
Yeah, I mean, he is coming full speed. Look at him.
Ain't got nothing to do with that. He just got out of school.
Who are you?
I'm his cousin.
You're his cousin?
I'm his cousin.
Yeah,
I ain't
exactly.
do nothing. I ain't do nothing. I just got over here. I just
You
got
can take me. You can take me. You
I
can
got
take
my
me.
phone in my cell.
Wait.
Let me tell you how the kid in the red. He ain't do nothing. He just got out. I just got out. How you? I don't know. Let's say came out of school together, but he's just too talkative, too talking fast for me. Like
Right. One of these things I definitely would say is your engagement with the police needs to be super limited. You don't. This kid did not need to run over here. He didn't need to come over to the police at all. He could have stayed over there because there's a group of children on the other side. And eventually, it's going to become like ants in a hot second. It's going to go ant real quick. But they could have just stayed out of this mix. But
stayed on the curb.
Stayed on the curb.
Stayed on the other side of the curb. Like that would have been perfectly fine. Like
right.
I tell because you always have your people. Hey, I'm gonna be recording. Hey, that's fine. Just stay.
Yeah, record.
You're perfectly fine. I'm recording too. But if you want to record, just stay over there.
Just stay over there.
As soon as you start getting the space of the crime and the investigation, now's the problem.
Yeah. I do want to exacerbate this point. These are still kids. So even though it's about to get rough in a second, it's about to go ant real bad. These are children. But please understand, these children are not recognizing that they're children. And you're going to see in a hot second, as soon as I hit play, you're going to see that another child is not remembering that she is a child.
I just
You
got
can take me. You can take me. You
I
can
got
take
my
me.
phone in my cell. Come on. Hey, look, come on. Go put your
You
hands.
about to go to jail.
She literally ran in and punched the police officer.
My goodness.
She literally ran in to punch the. I'm gonna back up so you can see it again. Like, yo.
I ain't do nothing. I just got over here. I just
You
got
can take me. You can take me.
I
You can
got
take
my
me.
phone in my
You
cell.
can take me.
Come on. Hey, look, come on. Go put your hands.
You about to go to jail too.
You know what? Stop. Sir, stop. Please, sir, stop.
Insert the ants.
Now the kid in the red is, trying to save her after what she
Facts.
just did. Like, okay,
Yeah.
so I understand he's trying to hold her back, but you can't do that.
The fact that, again, like, there's just a lot of wrong here. And again, these are all sub 18-year-olds. I think they're all sub 17-year-olds in this mix. And they could very well put themselves in harm's way. And you'll hear later on, like, a parental person accuses the police of them being the problem. Like, and all they had to do is stay out of the way. Yeah. I mean, because it doesn't look like the police were bothering them across the street until they came over. But insert the ants. Here it comes. As this is going on, Chris, what are police doing? How are they?
Yeah, exactly. That's what I'm like. Where is that? Why is this taser not?
The taser's coming.
Yeah.
I don't think anybody gets hit with it, but I think it's just out. But like, what's the state of a police officer in this type of situation?
So the mindset is handle your business until backup comes, because it's like when the cavalry comes, all is well. You know? But it's 2 verse 6. Yes, they're juveniles, but all it takes is one juvenile to reach for your gun, reach for your taser, reach for, I mean, heck, even to punch you. And you could, a 16-year-old can knock out a man in his 40s. Like people don't think juvenile means like, oh, they can't hurt you.
Correct. Correct.
Now, if this was a 9-year-old, I'd probably be like, all right, man, one hand could get 2 or 3 of them, right? But these are 16, 15 to 17-year-old kids, 14,
right?
Maybe 14 to 17-year-old kids, and still. So the mindset is, man, just to handle business, and you want to detain as many people as you can, because right now you have one person actively assaulting a peace officer.
That is correct. All right, let's keep it. Yeah. That is definitely the issue. Tasers entered the chat, but I don't know if it's going to get used.
Hey, back it up.
There you go.
That's my big sister, please. Yes, sir. I'm sorry.
Okay. I think now, granted, they're talking pretty harsh to him, but they're saying back up.
Yeah.
And I think that's reasonable. Is that fair, Chris?
Absolutely. I mean, I like the backup officer. Hey, he comes out with taser, back up, and he's gaining control on the scene. Right.
Got you.
And guess what? People are scattering.
The ants are scattering.
They're gathering away, and now they can focus on the main problem, which is the person in blue. She's the main problem right now.
Absolutely.
You know, the guy in the red, he's kind of like, he's just trying to protect his sister, it seems like.
Got you.
So.
Yep. All right, let's keep it moving. Let's keep it moving.
Me, bro. My big sister, bro. Please don't do nothing. Take me out these handcuffs. Step away. Big sister. Step away.
Yo, he was literally about to get handcuffed.
Yeah.
The girl ran over and he tackled her and got her out of the way. And the officer is telling him, step away.
He should be out of there.
Dude, you've got a blessing upon a blessing. Get yourself, move, my guy, run. Well, not run, but
at least watch from like 300 yards.
Right. I'm watching. Look, I got my binoculars. I'm over here.
Like,
I am not outside.
Yeah, like you said, he was about to get detained. He probably wasn't getting arrested, but
right.
Very minimal detained. Like
I mean,
said, no handcuffs are on. He, like you said, he's
right
out of there.
You could, bro. I would like count my blessing. Like, sis, I got you. Right. I got your room because you're gonna be in jail. I'm gonna take your room. Right. All right, let's go.
For what? I ain't doing. Lord, I get proud of it. We got nothing to do. We just game over here. I'm gonna get my sister to up off that ground. Or everything I'm mistake to one of y'all officers. Oh God. Let me go. I ain't got no Wi-Fi, man. Let me go.
There we,
you got Wi-Fi.
I don't know what that was. Yeah.
Where do you live at?
Oh, I was down here.
Then get out of here now. Where do you live
Just
at?
go.
You work here. All right, kick rocks. Where do you live at? All right, kick rocks.
Can we also agree that nothing in society has been made better by the word bruh? Can we agree to that? Can we at least agree on BRUH, bruh, is probably the bane of society at this point? Gosh.
So I don't know if y'all call it. So I'm looking up loitering and prowling. I think from what I understand, it's criminal trespass.
Mm-hmm.
In some sense, in such a manner that would cause alarm. That's what I'm looking up. So, you know, different states call things different things. Like,
yeah.
So that's kind of what I'm looking up. And so he's not supposed to be there, and he's doing something. Not only that, he's doing something that is causing a scene. Like the guy. That's why they got there, right? Obviously fighting, and so they had probable cause to be there.
Absolutely.
Now, all these other people allegedly don't live here. Like a lot of these people don't even live here.
And you're going to hear that later on. A lot of them don't live here. They just were a pack leaving from school. And again, something happened, jumped off. We missed the fight part, right. But this is the aftermath of it. Mm-hmm. And no, I agree. There's a lot of them that don't live here at all. And so what are you doing in this community? So you are loitering. You are trespassing. All right, let's keep it going. Let's dance.
That one. Which one? Red shirt?
He should have left. Yeah. He should have been gone.
Hey, okay, I get down. Call my mama.
I ain't got no Wi-Fi there.
Where do you live? Where do you live? Then leave. Where do you live? Get your hands out of your pants. Get your hands out of your pants. Where do you live at? Don't touch me. Where do you live at? Huh? Where do you live at? Why are you in my face, cousin? All right, cool. Where are your hands at?
Okay. All right, Chris. I don't know if I agree fully on if you don't tell me where you live. Hold on. Y'all, we just giving out. Who is this? Who is this guy?
Oh, snap.
Shout out. You want me to put you in the back?
No, I'm ready. I heard the sound and my sound was off, so I just had to change it right quick.
Ladies and gentlemen, we got lead attorney up in here. What's happening, sir?
Yeah, we have been here, three brothers just hanging out, man.
We just hanging out. So real quick, lead, I want to introduce you to Chris, K-Dub.
What's going on?
He's an officer. And so we wanted to watch this video. I believe you did a video on it as well recently. And we just wanted to watch it. I want to hear an officer's response to, what's it like when you get into this ant farm and all these ants moving around you and being all loud and stuff like that. So Well, shout out to you. Thank you for stopping through tonight.
100%. Yeah, I just shared your link. Someone emailed me about this. I was like, let me go on and jump on, man.
Oh, appreciate you, man.
I think you are an amazing content creator, an amazing person. So I definitely wanted to just jump on here. I don't want to co-opt this or anything, but I just want to come up here and salute you, man.
Thank you so much, man. I appreciate you. Now you at least gotta give me your 2 cents, man. What are you feeling right here?
About the video?
Yeah, about these kids out here being like ants, man.
I don't understand how K-Dub does it. I really don't, man.
I mean, really.
It's one thing if you John Jones and you talking back to me, okay, I guess I'm gonna take it. But if you 15, 16, I might have to cover up this body cam.
No, don't do it. Don't do it.
About 4-5 seconds where it fell off or something.
No, don't do it.
Hey,
don't do it, Lee.
We'll have to share this story one day, but I have tased the juvenile.
Really?
Yeah, that's another story for another day. But I mean, yeah, to me, it's like, and I was telling Jason, it's not that it's a juvenile; it's like 50 of these dudes. So it's
there's a lot of them.
Really,
this comes dangerous, for the officer. Like, I mean,
wow.
So Jason, you were talking about, you don't agree with him detaining the juvenile who didn't stay where he's, and I totally get that, but they are also trying to de-escalate this scene here because it's too chaotic. You got people
it's crazy.
that don't live there, and so they're just like, what? Either you leave it or we detain it.
I don't disagree with that point, but I just really wish. Again, it's so chaotic. It's just you look at it and in a minute when they wrestle him down, it does look bad. It does look bad. Like, now, granted, he's bigger. He's as big as me, but he's still a child. He's still a kid. Right. And I just wish they just go away. Like, y'all kids, if y'all just went away as they're asking you and you don't, like this girl in this white hoodie right here, just go away, baby. Just walk away. Just go away. But Lee, do you want to add 2 cents to it to make $1? What you feeling?
Man, I typically think about this in 2 ways, scenarios like this. I think about it from the law enforcement perspective, because I practiced criminal law way back in the day. And, I would represent people who were in similar situations, on the other side of the handcuff or inside the handcuffs. Mm-hmm. And, from a much more theoretical standpoint, I look at this in terms of parenting and the community. I have very interesting ideas on parenting, particularly because I don't have any kids. So I have a lot of theoretical stuff in my head. Oh, this should happen, and somebody should do this, and the parent should do that. And it's not all just, crazy theories. I have worked in the juvenile courts for years as a guardian item. I've represented so many kids charged with misdemeanor and felony grade crimes. I've represented them when I'm trying to get them back with their parents. I've represented them when I'm trying to make sure they never see their parents again and terminate their parents' parental rights. So I've just had a long relationship in having legal representation with kids. And, I see how some kids are able to turn their life around. And I also see, you never want to say that kids are hopeless or some kids.
Oh, for sure.
Hopeless, but, you're a Christian, right? So I'll just say, you don't want to throw the kid away, but the only thing that's going to save him is some divine intervention. That's it.
No,
I have seen parents come in and tell the judge, hey, just take him, take the 14, right? You can do nothing with him.
Right.
He's gone.
Wow.
They do that to us.
Yes.
Like, the kid run away. They're like, hey, he ain't come back home. I'm like, yes, he is. Because I'm not taking him.
That's exactly right. I have seen these parents. It's one thing if you got some little, 17-year-old that gave birth in the bathroom and now she at the hospital trying to drop the kid off. That's one thing. But to turn in a 15-year-old, because he's wild and he's destabilizing the house for the other younger kids.
Yeah.
And so you just he's gone, right? And, when you look at this video, you can kind of see traces of just a lack of respect for authority and the way that really just a lack of respect for adults. That's even crazy, right?
Yeah.
And I saw somebody commented that this was actually in Georgia. I didn't even.
It's in Savannah.
I didn't even
I-
pick it up when I reviewed it.
That's what
I saw it
was
on the
gonna
police
ask
car.
y'all. How was the Savannah era as far as like crime?
Oh my God, it's terrible.
Oh,
Yeah, it's terrible.
Tons of gangs. Not like Bloods and Crips and all that, but you can get killed down there for real.
Yeah, you can.
It's I put it right below Atlanta.
It's
Right
below
below.
Atlanta and it's below Atlanta.
That's exactly.
But
I don't know if this is right for everybody else, but I hear your volume a little bit low.
who, me
No,
or Chris?
Yeah, K Dub. You hear his volume low, or maybe it's just me?
It was low, but
You say you're just gonna rock with it anyways.
I was going to go ahead, Kate up.
Oh, I want to talk
Turn up
about
a little bit
something
more.
because you have like where I have this one, a police, you go to a house, you got a unruly kid, right? And one of the things I hate is, to your point, TLA, you have like, they want to do fear tactics with the police. And I say, nope, we are not doing that. Because guess what? If they don't fear you, they dang sure ain't going to fear me. Like, and it's only going to be momentarily if they do. So you might get them to act right because the police here, but when they leave, you still got the problem. And
Absolutely.
I have to tell parents, I'm like, look, you can, in the state, I live in the state of Texas. I was like, you can discipline your kids. Now I gotta be careful because I'm like, you can discipline them accordingly, right? You can't cross a threshold, but you can discipline your kids.
It's the same way in Georgia, but you can't really you can't. There's no use in discipline. We're talking about corporal punishment, right? No use in trying to discipline a 14-year-old or a 15-year-old. I used to get spankings when I was a kid / beatings, in the 80s. But there was a certain time where I was a kid. I was starting to get taller than my mom, so
true.
It's a point where if that hasn't been done as a child, now we're getting into the teenage years. It's a wrap. Imagine spank your kid when he's 5'11" and in the ninth grade. It's over.
Right. Discipline starts early, and it doesn't have to be, we used to have spoons and the little paint stirrers all around the house. So at any given time, like for example, my belief and philosophy is that you don't hit your children with your hands. So I don't ever want my child, if I ever reach out to my child, for them to duck. I don't ever want that to be the case. I want them to only associate my hands with loving hands, and dad has these big old mitts, but he never hurt me with his hands. Now, that don't mean Mrs. Spanky ain't gonna come out and change your life, but his hands never did that. So my girls never associate their dad's hands with anything negative. Now, again, we would have Mrs. Spanky in the couch, over the door frame, in the glove box. You gonna get ministered to wherever you misbehave, and they understood that. But it was also an earlier on of just teaching them to understand yes and no, and what's proper behavior, and such like that. So that now that they're 17 and 15, I don't have to do that. So I don't know where Mrs. Spanky is. But then guess what? They don't know him either because they've learned how to do that properly. And I'm sorry for these parents, and I don't want to spoil it because we know what happens at the end of it. There is a night and day example. So please stay around to the end. There's a night and day example of what we're talking about right here that I think really puts a fine point on what TLA and what Chris is saying, that parenting is key. It's a big deal. It's a big deal. And I asked them as we were watching this TLA to say, notice where the genders are. Notice where the men are and boys. Notice where the girls are and the women. Notice them throughout this video, because by the end of it, you'll really say like, oh, I see what he's talking about. All right, let's get this.
Actually, you got even a better person in the chat than me to have up here. Shout out to we got the fit lawyer ATL.
She driving that car though.
Is she driving?
She was driving. Somebody told me, because I was trying to get her to come on.
Yeah, she would be amazing. She said, I have a client. Well, let me read
it.
I'm
sorry about that.
I'll just get on your stuff and start bogarting it, right? Says, I have a client right now facing 2 felonies over allegedly whooping his 7-year-old and leaving a mark on her butt. Yeah.
That's that Adrian Peterson.
What's that?
Yeah.
That's that Adrian Peterson right there. Y'all remember?
I mean, that's how it is. It's impossible to, if you got some dark kids, maybe, shout out to Dearwood Christian, he's a little bit more melanated. Maybe you can get away with it. But if you like paper bag or above, if you
not paper bag.
we going there. If you really gonna discipline your child, how is there not gonna be a mark?
Facts.
That's the thing.
And I always tell people like, it shouldn't be a frustration letting out event. You don't spank your child when you're angry. So if I'm angry because you cut a fool in aisle 4 in Kroger, okay, hey baby, can you take the kids on home? I'm gonna walk home so I can pray and get my mind right, because I might skin them alive. You don't want James Whitaker to enter the chat. We don't need James Whitaker in the chat.
Okay.
So
well, listen, you obviously did an amazing job having one of your kids get accepted to the great flagship institute.
TLA, you're about to.
Oh man,
I'm about to let you down though. You know she going somewhere else.
Where's she going?
No, man. I'm sorry, man. I let you down, bro.
I mean,
she going to Duke. She's going to Duke.
Duke. I mean, you can see it, but it's just like, Duke's an amazing school, but why?
Duke, shout out to North Carolina in the house.
Get out of here. Get out of here.
Tell her I said what's up. Dude, nice.
Why Duke?
You know what? I'm gonna call her. I'm gonna tell her to jump on the line so I'm gonna tell her to call you so she can explain to you why she made this terrible decision. I'm like, baby,
bad decision.
I'm like,
but it's like, come on, just emotionally,
You're right. I just want my kid close to me. She knows it. She knows Dad is upset about it, but
it's
I think she bumped
school. That's the thing. Man.
It's a good school, I guess.
I just did my little will. My revocable trust, and you name your beneficiaries in there.
You put me in there?
Listen, ain't that it's not enough to go around. All right.
Oh, okay.
I got about 3-4 people, then it's gone. So they have you put like this, what they call it, a doomsday clause, where if everybody is dies before you and you just the only one, where do you want your stuff to go?
Really? Okay.
Yeah. So send it all to UGA. For kids in terms for scholarships for kids who don't have any resources.
Gotcha.
We got that. I don't know. Did you go to UGA?
No, I went to Morehouse.
Oh, that's right. Morehouse.
Yeah, come on, the house.
I was in the first class when the Hope Scholarship started.
Wow.
So
yeah.
That was super lucky because you could get in with just a 3.0. I mean,
sure could. Yeah.
Super easy. Everybody was getting in. And then I got a full ride to the University of Georgia School of Law. Gotcha. And so coming out of school and not owing, all of these student loans and all that, it can be so terrible. Man. And so I just think it's an amazing school. But obviously Duke's an amazing school too. But listen, if it were me though, are they going to try to hit you with this out-of-state tuition?
I'm trying to figure out. That's why I'm on this live stream, man. That's what got me streaming, man.
You ain't got no cousins or nothing. That's what you do. I was like, listen, you need to go and sign up for some jobs right now.
Right now, today.
We don't look like. Are you saying we don't look like?
I'm gonna say no.
I don't look like his cousin.
No, you do not.
Listen, when it comes down to state
don't
tuition,
judge.
Don't favor
don't
each other.
Judge.
I can use a filter. We'll use a filter, Mandy. We'll use a filter.
Maybe we're using a filter right now, and people just don't realize it.
There we go. What? Here, let's keep this game going because I want to make sure we give you time, TLA.
Oh, listen, I'm just up here to chat. You need to have Dear World. You need Dear World. You need to have Fit Lawyer up there.
Well,
I'm just stopping by.
Fun fact, me and Fit were going to do another body cam because she talks about be quiet and take the ride. Yeah. So I have a video for her that was definitely a be quiet and take the ride. But look at this shenanigans. What's going on, Taylor? You're muted.
Hey guys.
Hey, what's happening, friend?
What's going on, Lee? I don't think I've ever had the pleasure.
No, it's awesome. Nice to talk to you. You doing all right?
I'm doing okay.
Excellent. Yeah. We got an all-star cast. If you can have a cop and a criminal defense attorney up here, man, I wish Fit was available. It's all you, Fit. But that's awesome. And I think getting a police officer, getting their perspective it's so necessary. I think this is awesome.
I'm actually thinking about in the future starting a channel. Really educating people, man. I'm pro police, but I'm also pro citizen. And I think when people are more educated, it helps for better interactions for both
Absolutely.
sides, and that's what people generally want, right? And so I think I want to do that in the future.
I'm fascinated by police officers. I just
It's
fascinated because it's
it's
like
wild.
when I see what y'all go through, like even stuff like this, you telling me, I can't just take one of these kids in the back and a couple of shots in the stomach so I don't leave a mark, just boom, 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 just to learn them something. I mean, because we see in here where not to give anything away, but there's a part where one of the officers trying to talk to one of the kids, and then the parents are like, okay, if talking ain't gonna work, I'm gonna show you something. But
Right.
that probably backfires in the end. But I don't know how to get through to some of these people. You just have to have really good interpersonal communication skills to be a police officer working with these citizens every day.
I know that's right. What Taylor, have you seen what we're watching?
I have not seen that. I am a mother though with 4 children in this house, and I will tell you that the 12-year-old has already proclaimed I'm too old for this.
Okay.
A whooping is not happening, but one thing I just try to tell my partner all the time is that the children are different, They're not the same children that even we were, right? Because we're not that old, but they just grew up in a completely different time, and the way that you have to reach them is so foreign to even us that you kind of just have to walk in giving yourself grace because there is no handbook. There is no way to show you how to do this or how to get through to them, and we just have to be better. We have to be better at understanding the different dynamics of today's world in comparison to where we were.
That's fair. I don't disagree with that. Let me see this. Let me give you a little bit of a taste of these ants real quick so you can see what's happening in the chaos, and let's see what you say.
Nobody did to y'all.
I didn't do nothing to you. Stand
Yes,
up.
you did.
Because all I did was put you in cuffs.
Bro, give me the off this ground and get me out of these cuffs and take me home. You see how y'all just dropped our body cam?
Calm down. Calm down. Calm down.
Look at it.
If you don't live here, leave.
Y'all got my brother with him. He didn't even do nothing. Y'all just texted him and
If you don't live here, leave. If you live here, go to your home.
come get my phone.
Now, mind you, this young man in the red with the khakis, the red jacket and the khakis, he was almost arrested in the beginning. And then his sister came, bulling in, and he grabbed his sister and got out of the way. The police officer told him, go home. He could have just left and he would not be in cuffs. So, he was hell bent to put on cuffs. Oh, and by the way, that's Savannah. That's where I recognize it was Savannah.
Come in to call my sister.
I told you no.
It's right.
What does no mean?
She want her phone.
No.
She ain't did shit, so why she can't get her phone?
Stand back.
Just ignore us, please.
Yeah, just ignore me.
We will.
You want to go to jail?
Why do people have no aversion to going to jail? I don't understand that.
They are fearless. Like
I'm afraid to go to jail. I'm 51 years old. I'm afraid to go to jail today. When I was 15, I was afraid to go to jail. There's no way. If somebody said, "Do you want to go to jail?" Absolutely not. All the no's.
I will tell you, and K-Dub, I'm sure will tell you this too. Adults really do not like going to jail. They will lie. They will put you on a high-speed chase. They will shoot. They do not like going to jail.
Right.
But the kids learn. The kids, it's not their first interaction. They know that they are children. So they know that they got a lot of leeway. Oh, I don't care what you do, because they know that nothing's going to happen to them. They're going to take them to YDC. They're going to call the mom. The mom's going to come up there. It ain't like, they're going to be sitting in there with a $50,000 bond that they can't make, and it's going to be weeks, and they down at Rice Street, and they get banked up.
They got a celly.
It's a whole different thing. So I think when we say, why aren't people scared to go to jail? I think we're looking at a particular type of people. We're looking at minors who are treated differently, and they're already on game that they're not going to be treated so harshly.
Right.
That's crazy. But I don't know, man. And I agree with you, Lee. I'm just realizing, at any given moment, because there's a moment where one of the gentlemen one of the young boys that they arrest, they let him free.
Mm-hmm.
And you see him loitering around the open police car door. And I'm like, if there was something in that car that the police left unattended to,
Hey,
a
that's
weapon,
why they always
right?
tell you lock those doors.
You're gonna see it in a moment, well, not a moment. You'll see it, and I'm like, yo, like they let him out, they let him go. And he's just kind of looking. You can see him looking in the car, and I'm like, if something was there, any given moment, somebody could shoot a firework.
I tell you,
throw a rock.
Well, Jason, I tell you right now, in most police cars, there is something, a big, huge rifle, right in the center of your car. So,
yeah,
man, I learned this real quick. Lock your doors, man. One time I left the house and I thought my car was somewhere it wasn't.
Oh my gosh,
man, the biggest, your heart will sink into your stomach. So lock your doors because someone take your car. Oh, you getting fired. I mean, you're getting fired, bro.
You're going to jail.
You're going to jail. Well, you're getting fired as a police officer for sure.
Yeah, you might be going to jail too, though. But
no, I ain't gonna send him to jail. You're gonna get fired and you're gonna get transferred over to Gwinnett. All right, let's be real. Let's be real about it. Okay?
Going to Savannah. We take you to Savannah. All right, let's finish.
They was just fighting, man. They tripping. Come to the gardens. They got her in the car, bro.
Step away.
Hey, I'm on the phone. Stop talking. Why you keep talking?
Her right there.
I would have detained her.
Boy, just wait. Just wait till my daddy get out here, boy. On my soul. You getting up? I ain't doing y'all. Man, shut up, man. Chill out, bro. You alright? You did what? You alright?
Man, they just arrested him too.
Where do you live at? Where do you live at?
42.
All right, you're about to come here and talk to me. Where do you live at?
I'm a man.
Hey, good. You do have to talk to me.
Walk away.
Where do you live at?
I ain't gotta ask you a question.
All right, then cool. We're going to handcuffs. Come on. Number 5.
Let me go now. My phone.
Fraud, obstruction, loitering and prowling. I can do this all day long.
You know, last time you talked to me, you said you're gonna kill us all.
I didn't say that. So what did you put words in my mouth for? You just put me in handcuffs because I don't want.
What did you say something, Taylor? You muted.
I was just listening to the kids' response. Wait until my daddy get out here. I think that is crazy because it speaks to the level of parenting that, like Lee was saying, that this might be a little bit of learned behavior. When you feel like you can call your parent and your parent gonna act a fool with them, you know what I mean? That.
The last
Fun
thing
fact.
I wanted was my mama coming to a scene when I'm acting a fool. Like growing up, my mom I would have been begging the police to come help me. Like,
I'm just saying, like, you know what? Because James wasn't coming. So I'm just gonna let you know right now, James wasn't coming. James was not moving. Like, oh, Jason went to jail. Okay, and he would have kept it moving. James was not coming. So, but it's funny. No dads actually show up. I think that's very interesting.
Yeah.
And we'll go ahead.
And if you notice too, like, oh, I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just saying that same guy who was getting detained the last one, or it really was a girl.
It's a girl, right? Yeah.
You know, that cop was like, you know, you're the same person that threatened to kill us all. And, you know, if you got a 14-year-old threatening to kill all the cops, for me,
that's crazy work.
That child is lost and you have to do something drastic. And drastic is not taking away the iPhone. Drastic really isn't even a whooping. A whooping's going to do nothing at that point where you got a 15-year-old threatening to kill cops. For me, you got to move. You have to move. You have to extract that child from that environment, from that school, friends. You know, you got to move far away so the child has like a reset. You're going to make new friends. We're going to get around some white people.
We move into the country.
Yeah. It's the only way to save them because once a child is threatening police officers, it's a wrap.
It's a wrap.
How do they think about teachers if they're threatening cops? They don't care about teachers when they get older. You know, in their first jobs, they're not going to care about supervisors. They're not going to care about managers. They probably don't care too much about their parents. Real talk. If they're threatening cops with death, you know, the parents.
That's crazy.
You got to take that child out. That's for me. That's the only way. There's no therapy. There's no classes, you know, we're going to talk to somebody, no ADHD medication. It's too far gone.
But that's what they put them on.
Yeah, they try to medicate these kids. You need to move them 80 miles away or more, 80-mile radius. Just take them away.
So then go ahead.
And I mean, they are growing up in a world where clout is currency. So if you're looking around, every kid has a phone in their hand. Everybody's on the phone with somebody reporting live because those are getting them the brownie points. So yeah, extracting them from the place where the clout is building is exactly what you need to do.
I agree 100%.
Oh, we got pills, potions, and poisons in the house.
Up in the building, building.
You the one administering the ADHD medication.
You ain't doling it out, are you? Pills, potions. Oh no!
Shout out to pills, the beautiful pills, potions, and poison.
Yeah, she said her mom and dad weren't playing this stuff, not a bit. And to the point, like this is a very decent looking neighborhood. So I'm not saying that it can't be bad, but it looks well maintained. The vehicles in the lot look decent. So this looks like a very nice neighborhood. So, and the kids themselves don't look run over. So again, this is probably more of what Taylor was saying, more of a clout situation. We gotta act a certain way rather than actually being, because this doesn't look that bad, but we'll see.
I don't think it's necessarily a financial issue. I think it's the culture in Savannah, which is just so it's so gang related. That's the thing. It's such a gang heavy environment that you're exactly right. It's a great observation, dear Christian. That it's not like the slums and the Bronx.
Yeah, this looks like a very nice neighborhood.
Yeah, it's just Savannah. Savannah is terrible. It's really bad. One of my best friends in law school is the DA down there.
Oh my gosh!
Yeah, she just won her re-election, and man, it's so many murders down there in Savannah, and it's the young people. It's not 34-year-olds, 38-year-olds. It's the young ones who want to do all this gang stuff and want to be in and cool and shoot everybody up on that King Von stuff. And it's terrible. I think you're exactly right.
Yeah, let's keep this game going. And, let's dance.
Answer your question.
That's called obstruction.
That's not.
And right now, loading and prowling and obstruction.
Do you know the rule, Beckham?
Do I know the rule? Yeah, I know the rule. I know the rule.
You just put me in handcuffs.
So absolutely, it's not a rule.
Let me know.
I'm not sure where you got that rule from, but that's not a rule.
I don't have to answer your question.
You're right. You don't have to answer my question. You can go in handcuffs. Take a seat. Now it's called loading and prowling and obstruction. Have a seat.
As much as I don't know if they have to answer the question either. But I think you can, again, my sensibility is I'm taking responsibility for myself. These officers are not responsible for my well-being. So my well-being is my responsibility. I need to get away from here. I keep saying it. I would not be one of these ants. I'm a rogue ant that has left the farm. I'm not going to be here with this. This is just because these people are not responsible for me. Something pop off. They're not apologizing to Belinda and James. I'm going to be dead. Right. So I need to be away from here. And I feel like that person could have just gone away. I know it sounds super simple, but you don't see them running across the parking lot going to arrest everybody that they see. It's just these people in the immediate vicinity. Just get away from them.
Hey, I got a question, Lee. So you're in Georgia, and what do you think about this law? He's hit him with the loitering and prowling. So for Texas, we don't have that law like that. It's what I would hit him with is like criminal trespass, right? So you've been told to leave. We'll issue a criminal trespass citation. You still don't leave. Okay, now I got an easy arrest. So I kind of looked up the law on this, and I don't know if he's stretching it. I mean, by merely not answering the question. What's your thoughts on that?
Yeah, and again, Fit would be the best person to answer this. So Fit, you listen to me at criminal if I'm wrong. I don't think criminal trespass would fit because even though the cops told him to leave, usually for criminal trespass, you need the property owner to tell him to leave. Fair. So I think that's the issue with the criminal trespass. Now, loitering and prowling, that's such a terrible charge because if someone's just walking, through a apartment complex, just walking from one place to another,
shortcut, yeah.
People walk. We all got cars and stuff, but there are people who just get, put on their Nikes and just walk. Right. A cop can roll up on them and just say, hey, you're loitering and prowling. Where are you at? And these types of loitering and prowling laws were really used to really kind of abuse the citizenry, especially Blacks and Hispanics. It's such a charge that's amorphous and it's just kind of all discretionary type of thing. And so I think some states have actually gotten away from it. But yeah, so it's kind of hard to define. And because it's so hard to define loitering and prowling, it's used a lot when the police officers want to harass the citizens.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I got you. Let's keep this dance going. Bring it back in. That'd probably be good, Jason. Let's go.
We need more cars. They have your phone. Do you live out here?
Okay, now this is when I feel like an adult has entered the chat. There's a lady in the black. Notice what happens when this lady in the black steps in. Watch.
Okay, what apartment do you live in? No, I don't live in. Okay. I live here. What apartment? I live down the street.
I live here, but I don't live here.
Your mother, you live here? Have your mother come see me. I'm not even paying with you.
Appreciate it.
This is the way this works. If you do not live on this premises, then you are loitering or prowling, which means you are required to identify yourself to me. If you do live here, and I ask you your name and where you live, and you can't provide it, now you're required to quell my suspicions that you're not loitering and prowling, which is why you're in handcuffs in the back of my car. Now, what's your name? Cameron. I don't want you to be in handcuffs, but I want to take you to jail. I would much rather call your mom come pick you up.
All right, so you want to jump in on that move of I don't want to take you to jail. I'd much rather have your mom and dad come and get you.
Who do you want to direct that to?
Oh, anybody. I was just saying, I'm just throwing it out to the panel. I'm sorry. Lead, if you want to jump on it, I think that's the right thing to do. Because again, sending a 15, 16-year-old, 17-year-old to jail for a fight, and literally all they did was just not answer my question. To me, I do think that might be a little bit over, and he's just given an opportunity. And I think it's going to do a better job of easing issues in the future by him working with them now versus throw him in jail and having them fingerprinted and such like that. But what do you think, Taylor, or anybody?
Yeah, I question if the trauma has already set in. The fact that you've been handcuffed and now placed in the back of a cop car, has the trauma or the negative feelings that you could have towards a police officer already set in at this moment, right?
Yeah.
Or on the other hand, did he calm down? I haven't seen this. So my mind is kind of in two places. I kind of need to see a little bit more before I can have a full opinion about it. But I do think the officer is in this moment taking the right steps.
Yeah,
I want to say shout out to the older lady who came in.
She about to bring it.
You know, and you know, being she's definitely diffusing the situation, and like she's helping the police, but also she's helping these young black kids too. Like, hey, y'all wilding out. Unless y'all want to get arrested, y'all need to leave. And this is what these black young children need. They need black people who are older and saying, "Don't do that." I mean, when I grew up, it was my uncles. Hey, look, don't do that.
Right.
That's going to get you in trouble, you know. And a lot of black people today, I mean, this is across the board with the youth, but we're addressing it right now, right? Don't have these people that can come in and step into their life and really parent them, or maybe they're not the parents, but they can be some kind of elderly figure in their life.
Right. You know? I think the woman in black, by the way, she works for the apartment complex. She's the manager of the complex. Spoiler alert. Yeah. She represents what used to be, Miss Greta down the street would whoop you and then call your mom and dad and tell you, hey, I whooped Jason because he was acting a fool out in the street. Right. And I know y'all don't roll like that. That's what she represents in this scenario. And you'll see in a second, because you haven't even seen the fullness of I don't know her name, but she brings that noise. Let's go.
Hey, yo, hold up. Chill out. First of all, we're going to start this whole thing over.
How y'all doing?
Good.
I'm her mother. Why is my daughter in handcuffs?
Your daughter is in handcuffs because she was fighting and then thought it was a good idea for her to try to swing on the police. So
okay. All right. You know what? Though she rolling out here in the bonnet, and I think that's highly inappropriate, she didn't argue with her. She doesn't argue with the police and say, I know my child, my baby would. No, she's quiet, and you'll see in a second.
Well, did you see her face?
Yeah, she's looking like, what?
Why y'all
Yeah. But, it's gonna be more interesting. But let's see.
But as of right now, your daughter is about to go to the juvenile detention center. You can ask him questions.
Okay, also, where's my son?
Who's your son?
The little light
He in the car too.
He in the.
They tried to tackle. No, this is what happened. She was not fighting.
She need to get arrested.
And Rashad had jumped in, and I guess they tried to arrest him too. So that's when Morris walked over.
We're gonna stop.
Bundles and lashes. Bundles and lashes.
That's your daughter?
That's my daughter, and that's my son.
Your daughter is under arrest. She hit 2 officers.
What did the officers do to my baby?
They tried to tackle Rashad, and that's when she jumped on him.
Hey, all right. Do we have a Rashad in custody?
Her brother.
He's the first one that charged at me.
But there's no charges on him?
No charges.
All right, so, ma'am, excuse me. So right now, your son, Rashad, I believe he's one of the ones we had detained as well. He's not being charged with anything, okay? Apparently, there was a large fight out here. We don't know why yet. As this large fight broke out, officers arrived on scene here, and we tried to gain control. Your son, Rashad, charged at one of the officers. Didn't get hit. He didn't hit anybody or anything like that, so he was detained. When that happened, I guess his sister came up, and that's when she struck 2 officers. That's why she is now detained and being placed under arrest. Okay?
So out of this whole fight, my daughter the only person going to jail?
As of right now, yeah.
Mom!
Okay, as a former classroom teacher, I'm sorry. I don't like the appearance. The mom coming up here, rolling up here in a bonnet. She came in hot, but she at least recognized that the problem is with these children's behavior, not the police. I gotta give her some credit for that because she's at least responsive. And she also, when she came in all hot, she tempered it down so she could hear, and she's listening. She ain't happy about it. Right. You don't got to be happy, but you also ain't acting foolish either. So I gotta give her a little bit of respect for that. Now, in the moment, she gonna lose that respect, but hey, I gotta give it where I gotta give some, take some back. Anybody want to comment? Anybody?
I agree.
All right, let's dance.
I want to speak to my mother. Mom! I know you out there!
Oh, it's about to come down.
What you keep hollering for me for? You don't think I can hear you? Do you not understand that I'm already pissed off? Because you told me that you was staying after school. So how the hell your ass end up pissed off?
He called me and said,
I don't give a when nobody called you and said, and you supposed to be your ass at my house. So how you get crossed out to Savannah Gardens?
They called
I don't give a why is my daughter going to jail? Because you doing some extra.
No, ma'am, they was trying to jump Kamora and I jumped in.
And I just started shooting.
I'm sorry. I've seen it in the hallway. I've seen it. That is not the strong parenting that little boy needed. I'm sorry. Cussing him out like that is not gonna do anything for him, but it cause him to cuss out other people. Because man, all right. K-Dub, you ever seen that?
I'm just like, where's the father? I'm sorry, man.
Oh.
Me as the dad, I'd be up there and I'd be giving my son the stare. Like,
Yeah, there's no dads in this chat.
are
There's
you
no dads. There are no dads in here. I'm sorry. I hate to say it, but there's none that are going to show up. It's all moms. And I mean, there's some are reasonable, but then there's some that are not so much. But there's no men that step up in this scenario. And that's kind of disappointing and sad, especially when we see like what we watched earlier with Anthony Mackie talking about, the death of masculinity. It's hard to argue what he said when you see this.
You got anything on you? Tell me now. A lighter? Where? Don't reach for it. Have you been around me? Because your clothes reek of it. Is there any on you?
I didn't pull the screen up. Rookie mistake.
Tell us.
You got fit in the house.
All right, I'm going to back up a little second. But by the way, I'm going to go ahead and give the fit lawyer an opportunity. Hopefully you didn't break any speeding laws getting over here. Because we over bother you in the chat, talk about hurry up and jump on and all that kind of stuff. How are you?
I'm doing good. How are y'all doing?
Good. That's a lot of
on Dear Woke Christian. I know everyone up here except K-Dub. Nice to meet you for the first time.
Nice
Shout
to
out
meet you.
Reed. I can't believe it. I'm on
Finally.
Well, we're causing trouble tonight. So
Yeah.
we were just going over this. I'm sure you've probably seen most of it. We were watching this body cam footage from Savannah. About 20 kids getting into a squabble out in an apartment complex. And it just went left, and they're trying to gain some control over it. And we're just looking at it. So anything you want to add to what you've seen so far, or what you might have heard?
I'm with Lead. I don't have any kids yet, so this is all theoretical. I represent a lot.
Kids overrated. Kids overrated. Oh.
I just feel like some parenting issues are here. These kids are off the chain. The fact that they have no respect for elders, authority, that starts at home. So that's where I am.
No, you're in the right place. You're in the right place for sure. Now, granted, I think we're going to see, we're getting to the adult supervision steps in on this. So let's bring it back in and let's go.
Have you been around weed? Because your clothes reek of it. Is there any on you?
I'm going to check the back of the patrol car. I'm going to find it if it's there, okay?
You might as well just tell us. In your sock? All right. And I'll take your shoes off. Pop this up. All right. Sit back in the car. She got nothing in her boxers.
Just the joint?
Just the joint. She had weed on her.
Yeah, weed on her.
No charges, right?
No charges.
Mom is right there. She comes over, release. No charges. No charges. Mom's on the way. Once she gets here, we'll release. Got it?
She had a joint in her sock.
Who does?
The female in that car.
Who's that one?
She's the one who threatened to kill us last time, but I don't know.
Okay.
Yeah.
Hello, man.
I know I'm saying this a lot, but you do realize a lot of this would have not happened if those kids had just walked away. Joint in your sock, fighting for your sister, bullying over the police officer. If you had just stayed out of it, you would not. There's only been one kid that would have been arrested, and that's that first one, and they let him go.
Yeah, it's like you got weed on you. Why are you saying anything? Now, okay,
right.
that little joint ain't gonna go nowhere. We all know that. But the point is, it's still enough to get you taken in. They still detain you, and
absolutely.
And so it's like, why are you acting like this with weed on you?
So I want to bring in, and I'm gonna stop after the property manager. This is the property manager in black. Again, this is what they needed, but here it comes.
Tell me what exactly went on.
So our officers responded to a fight that just occurred here. There's apparently 20 individuals. That was just a large fight.
Yeah.
When they arrived on scene, a lot of people scattered.
Yeah.
A couple people came running up, and a couple people ended up getting detained because they were trying to fight the police officers.
So I'm the new senior manager here.
Okay.
I'm not going to tolerate it. So if you are tied into this and you live on my property, you're going to get a notice to vacate.
Okay.
I already done got it from my ADO.
Have you met Linda? This is the property manager.
That's good. I'm going to get with her.
Okay.
You hurting anymore, bud?
She said, we about to put y'all up out of here.
Hey,
y'all over here.
Lee, you think that'll solve the issue? Your kids get you evicted from your own place?
I mean,
that'll wake you up.
Move in.
That'll wake you up.
Now you gotta move.
Exactly.
Wow. So gonna move 80 miles away and keep it moving. Wow. I love it. I mean, I think that's kind of aggressive. I don't know if we can evict people like that in Georgia. You can? Finn?
Break that lease agreement by showing out. You sure can.
Oh.
You sure can.
I've been corrected. I stand corrected. I love it. Yep. All right. So here comes. Let me bring this back in. Sorry about that, y'all. And
You okay? Slammed me on my head. My head is hurting. I fell dead on my body.
On my body.
Do you want him to go with EMS? Do you want him to go with EMS?
He's fine. Where y'all taking her to? Juvenile?
We're calling right now, so we'll let you know in just a minute. We'll take it. All right, love you too.
I'm the mother.
Her?
My son, y'all just called me.
Other vehicle.
Oh, everybody home? What's going on?
He claiming he wasn't out here fighting. He got put in handcuffs because he was out here fighting at some point in time with somebody. So he's not getting charged today, but since he's doing out, you got to be at least in your custody.
So what happened?
Big fight ensued and we showed up.
Who was he fighting?
Fighting nobody. Come on. Hey, face the vehicle for me.
Turn that way, CJ.
And so I'm not telling you what to do, but I think you need to make better decisions. I didn't say. So
He'll be outside.
I'm just saying. The point that I'm trying to make.
We have to take photos. Hey.
The point that I'm trying to get him to understand is regardless if he gets into stuff or not, who he hang out with, he don't need to hang out with.
He don't hang out with nobody.
He hang out with somebody.
No, that's my son. He's not a problem child. No.
Ma'am, Though I do understand, I do think that it might have been a little bit aggressive with the cuffing him up because he didn't want to give his name. But ma'am, he's somewhere he's not supposed to be. So it's fair to say that he's done things that you're not aware of in times past. So the whole nothing's wrong. He doesn't do anything wrong, ma'am. Please put that on pause. Put that on pause. And mind you, the officer didn't say anything bad. He just said, make better decisions. Yeah. I think we all can agree that sometime today you've made a decision that you wish you had made a better decision. Now, granted, none of them resulted in us being in the back of a police car, but I think we all can agree, like, hey, you know what? I probably should have did better. I should have made a better lunch choice or whatever of that nature. But good gracious, man. Anybody want to chime in? Fit?
Yeah, the officers is telling them exactly right. And the thing they need to be worried about is party to a crime. In Georgia, they use the party to a crime statute to charge everyone involved with the same thing. So this is why it's important who you hang around. So he definitely needs to take heed, but you see how mom's response was. And so the mamas.
and notice, no daddies. I ain't trying to be funny, but there's no daddies in here. No dads have entered the chat. And these women are.
That's that. So Dad, you're right about that.
Yeah, I mean, there's none at all, and it's gonna go left in a second. But here, let's keep it finishing.
Anything else?
Nope. Yeah,
okay. All right, now they leave.
Black child is not a problem child.
I didn't say he was.
You just said how he was just walking. Y'all put my child in handcuffs because he was walking.
So you believe your child over the police?
Yeah, you damn right I believe my child because I know what I raised.
Okay.
So out of all the kids that was actually fighting, y'all just detained the kids that wasn't.
So this is the way it worked. When I rolled up, everybody scattered. Okay. So I don't know who was fighting, but if they don't live here, it's called loitering and prowling.
What's your name and badge number anyway? You have a black stuff.
Officer Johnson, 16.
Okay, fine. Let me get that.
I don't have a card actually.
Y'all gonna put him in handcuffs. And y'all ain't got a reason, so I don't. He wasn't fighting. He wasn't fighting. He just was coming from my sister. He wasn't even fighting. She got him on the video camera. Coming to the house, was coming from school. Y'all is sucking out. Y'all better go to the ones that y'all need to go to. You gotta tell me what happened. Stop that. Stop it.
All right, now this one right here, this one was refreshing. So she didn't come in with her bonnet and slippers on, and she's listening, and I feel like she's giving the right and proper response. I hate that boy's hat. I just realized what it says on top. I hate that hat.
No, you ain't coming out until your mom says so.
Send him right back in there for me. Send him back in there. Can anybody tell me what's going on?
We got a call that there were about 20 children up here fighting. So when I showed up, everybody scattered, and then he refused to identify himself, refused to give me his name for his birthday. So at that point it became obstruction. He went to handcuffs to be detained. That's why he's in this situation. We're not going to pursue those charges. We're going to release him to you.
What are the charges?
Loitering and prowling and obstruction. And obstruction. But
do you know what your charges are? Listen, if I ask you one more question and you shake your head at me and you ask me with attitude, they can go ahead and take you because I'm getting sick of this. Why didn't you tell this man where you live at? This man ain't lying on you. I know your attitude. This man is not lying on you. You should not have came down here. It is a phone in the schoolhouse that you can use, and several phones there. Somebody is coming to get you. You know that. And then you got an attitude.
Ma'am, thank you.
On my phone now.
No, he arrested me because I didn't want to answer his question.
Okay, Camaro, what's wrong with that? Camaro, you are in somebody else.
Oh, did anybody want to comment about what's mom? That mom that
shout out to moms, man. She handled business.
But I will say that she too said, I know my son, I know my child. And I think as a parent, we have an inkling of what our children are capable of. And the type of parenting you do gives you insight into that. It isn't just what your child says to you, it's also what your children do. And you know what they do by, monitoring the devices, seeing them when they don't see you. And so as a parent, I see both sides of the spectrum, whereas the officer said, well, I really don't know who was fighting. When I came up, they were scattered. to telling the mom, well, he was up here fighting, but you don't know who he was fighting. I think that message could have been delivered a little bit differently to maybe say like, okay, well, I really don't know what happened, but when I got here, he wasn't complying. He was in the way, whatever it was at that moment that your eyes saw, and explain that to the parent versus he was doing this. And now you've got them in an uproar because they feel like, their child wouldn't bust a grape in a fruit fight. Versus another parent who's like, I know you got an attitude. I know the games you play.
And I think I know my child can go both ways. Like, I know my child and she's an angel, like Fit, or I know my child and she's a ne'er-do-well, like Lead is. So knowing your child, I mean, that statement right there can go both ways. I just want to see if he's going to say something. I just want to see your head move.
I was like, I'm letting it rock.
I was going to see if we can get your head to move. But no, like, so one mom, she's excusing it. Because your child act a fool like this. You know this is not the first time your child has misbehaved and cut a monkey like this.
You don't hang with nobody. Girl, you hang with somebody.
He outside. Stop it. But then on the other note, she's like, yeah, I know you got an attitude. Because you got an attitude with her. Probably got an attitude at school or whatever like that. So she knows it. So she's not oblivious to it. I hate it because she seemed frustrated. Because she almost sounded like she was about to tell the officer, go and shut that door and I can have a quiet night tonight.
She making the calls.
Say again?
She's the supervisor making the calls.
Right. She's like, look, arrest him. You can go and keep him. I'll get him on Friday. I'll pick him up on this weekend. So, shout out to him. And then, of course, this is the mom of the little girl with the weed in her pocket or in her sock. So let's see how it ends.
Property, that don't work like that.
I talked to her dad. The paperwork will be sent to that address that they live at over in Iowa. All right, so just wait for the court date. So I called the jail to see if they were going to take her, but the jail wasn't going to. That's literally the only reason she's not going over.
Gamora was charged with felony obstruction, loitering and prowling, and 2 counts of battery. Gamoria was charged with possession of marijuana, obstruction, and loitering and prowling. The others were released to the care and custody of their parents. One parent made it clear that the blame for the entire situation was the fault of the police, who responded to numerous 911 calls related to a large fight. They are innocent until proven guilty in a court of law.
All right. Thank y'all, man. That was a lot of fun.
Police are
all right. What do you want to add? Lead, you want to add anything wise and sage?
I got nothing. I'm waiting on Fit. This is all Fit right
here.
Oh,
this is the Fit show. Let's get Fit up in here. Fit, break it down to us. Tell us what we're doing. What's going on?
I'm going ahead and duck out, but I did share
this.
I just love coming up on your platform, and it's just an amazing channel that you have, dear World Christian. So really thank you for allowing me to come up here.
No problem, man. Thank you so much for stopping through. Ladies and gentlemen, Lead Attorney, if my mods can please make sure we drop Lead's channel in the chat. We definitely want to make sure we support great content creators like you. And thank you so much for stopping through, my brother.
Thank you so much. Big shout out to Fit.
Lead Attorney in the damn chat.
In the chat. Type TLA in the chat. Absolutely. Okay. I done fell asleep at the wheel. Thank you. Go and put TLA in the chat, y'all.
All right. I'm gonna continue watching in the outside though.
Hey, not a problem, friend. Thank you so much.
Bye-bye, y'all.
Grace and peace. Take care, friend. All right, so that was Lead. Thank you so much for stopping. Members, thank you so much. And make sure you let Fit know that you appreciate her for dropping those 10 memberships. Thank you for that as well. I'm looking forward to rocking with you all tomorrow, so we'll do it again real soon. And until then, everybody, grace and peace. Take care. Have a great night.